What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the video here in the World of Juice channel. Welcome back to another episode of the Retro Miami Dolphins rebuild here on Madden 21 on the PC. That is right. We are back. This is episode number 8. I'm pretty sure. Number 8. We are here at the start of year 4. 2008 regular season. The 2009 draft class is already loaded in. I'll show you guys that in a second. But first off, we got to do a little bit of talk. Once again, thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching. Make sure to smash that like button, notification bell, and the subscription button as well. Join the Juice Club, all that stuff. Subscribe to the channel. But we got to talk about some big deals in this series that could change the roster from now until the rest of the time that we do this series. So let's get into the video and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. All right, here we are. And the first thing that I have to show you guys is contract negotiations. Now, we're going to be focusing on these two players right here, Jason Taylor and Sam Madison. Now, Jason Taylor and Sam Madison are both 34 years old. They're both 84 plus. And they're going to want some decent contracts. Now, I have the money to pay both of these guys the necessary contracts to keep them on the team. But I don't know if we necessarily need these guys on the team. We are 2-0 on the season. If you guys didn't catch that right before I clicked it. We are 2-0 on the season right now. And I don't know if this team that we have built right now is a playoff team or not. I don't think that this team is. And I think what is holding us back is this cornerback right end situation with Jason Taylor and Sam Madison. Now, let's go into the draft class, the 2009 draft class, headed by Matthew Stafford, the consensus number one overall pick. That is what we're looking at for quarterback, but I don't know if we're going to be taking a quarterback. There are some decent corners that we could be taking. Vontae Davis is one of them. Darius Butler, Jarius Byrd, Sherrod Martin, Sean Smith, Ladarius Webb, Gerard Powers. There's some decent corners down here to take. Free safety, we've got Glover Quinn, who's a 4th round projection. Malcolm Jenkins at strong safety along with Patrick Chung, Mike Mitchell, William Moore. These guys are all very high up the rankings. Into the linebackers, you got Brian Arakpo, you got DeAndre Levy, guys like that. James Laurinaitis is in this draft class. That could be our middle linebacker of the future, along with Brian Cushing, Ray Maualuga, Brad Jones, Josh Mauga. Daniel Ellerby was down here too. He's decent. Left outside linebacker, Clay Matthews, Larry English, Aaron Curry, Marcus Freeman, Spencer Atkins, Dan Skuda. It's a very, very solid defensive class. BJ Raji is here. Senderick Marks, Roy Miller, Sammy Hill. It's a good one. Desmond Bryant is still, I think, is still in the league. Robert Ayers, Harry Milton. Not as good of a defensive line draft. Ziggy Hood, Connor Barwin, Paul Kruger, Michael Johnson. Michael Johnson's probably the best one out of this bunch. Michael Orr is here as a right tackle option. Andy Levitre. We do need a center. Alex Mack could be our center. Max Unger, also a good option. Luis Vasquez, Matt Slauson, Andre Smith, TJ Lang. Tight end situation about the same as last year's draft class. Brandon Pettigrew, Jared Cook, who's a good one. Wide receivers, Darius Hayward-Bay, Michael Crabtree, Jeremy Maclin, Percy Harvin, Hakeem Hicks. It's a very good wide receiver core. Brian Hartline's here. Kevin Ogletree, Julian Edelman. It's a good one, but I don't know if we need a wide receiver. We may need a wide receiver. Running backs, Noshawn Moreno, Donald Brown, Beanie Wells, LaShawn McCoy. That's about it. Rashad Jennings, Arian Foster down here and undrafted. Then Matt Stafford is about the only quarterback on the list. Mark Sanchez, Josh Freeman, Pat White. Chase Daniel, Brian Hoyer. Gross. So it's a decent quarterback, or it's a decent draft class, but I think we're going to be focusing more on the defensive side. I think with my first round pick, I'll probably take a linebacker, either either Clay Matthews or James Laurinaitis, maybe Brian Arakbro, one of the linebackers, and then we can get a decent corner. Maybe we go and get Glover Quinn or Malcolm Jenkins as a safety. I'm also liking the BJ Raji pick, the possible BJ Raji pick, Robert Ayers, Connor Barwin, Michael Johnson. So there's some decent picks here we could take. We currently sit with the 9th pick overall and then the 17th pick. So we have 2 potential first-round picks. But we could be getting more picks with one, either Jason Taylor or Sam Madison. Now, I'm thinking that we possibly trade Jason Taylor for a quarterback. Now, I'm not sure if that will work. Jake the Snake Plummer is not the quarterback that I'm particularly wanting. Brian Greasy, Luke McCown. Who's the Chiefs quarterback? Matt Ryan. They just got Matt Ryan. Who else would want Jason Taylor? Who's got the Falcons? Michael Vick. I don't really want Michael Vick right now. 49ers have Alex Smith, who's been making Pro Bowls. I think he made 2 out of 3 Pro Bowls in this series so far. He's 84 overall, 24 years old. He's probably coming up on a contract, so I don't know if we want to pay him, so we're probably not going to go for Alex Smith. It might be hard to get him too. So Byron Leftwich. Lions want Jason Taylor. Who do they have? They have Kyle Buller. No. Aaron Rodgers probably coming up on a contract too, but he's going to be impossible to get anyway. So Tim Couch is their Panthers quarterback. The Raiders want Jason Taylor. They have Phil Rivers. We could have possibly signed Phillip Rivers. The Rams have Ryan Fitzpatrick and Sexy Rexy. Seahawks have Mark Bolger, Matt Hasselbeck. Steelers have Big Ben and Joe Flacco. That's funny. Do we get Big Ben? I don't know. The Texans, who do the Texans have? They have David Carr still. And the Titans have Joey Harrington, so our backup quarterback. So the quarterback situation's not looking very good. There's not really anybody here that I would want. Maybe we just stick it with AJ Feely for another year. And then possibly sign... Do we possibly sign... or draft Matt Stafford? I don't know. That's the tricky part. I mean, we could go for Michael Vick, but I don't know what that would do for us. The only option, right, is probably Alex Smith. But then again, Alex Smith is on $630,000 a year. He's going to need a contract extension, and I don't think that we're committed enough to Alex Smith to be able to pay him. And Rodgers is going to be impossible to get. Plus, he's coming up on a contract extension as well. He's got to be. So, he's going to be too hard to get. Phillip Rivers is getting paid way too much money. I don't know. It's just not... It's not looking good for the quarterback situation. I don't know what we need to do. The only thing is we could get Matt Ryan. How hard would it be to get Matt Ryan? Do they value him a lot? I mean, they took him in the first round. It'd probably be too hard to even get Matt Ryan. Would they do this? Hold on. First, I'm going to put a draft pick in there just in case they do accept it. Just to see where it's at. Okay, so they won't accept this straight up at all. No, I didn't think so. So Matt Ryan is going to be off the board. A quarterback's probably off the board anyway. I don't think there is any possible way that we get a quarterback. And I think we just go for draft picks. I hate to do it, but he's going to need a contract. I don't want to pay him, and he's going to start regressing here pretty soon. Or maybe he even will retire. I don't even know. He's 34 years old. Let's trade Sam Madison first before we trade Jason Taylor. Let's trade Sam Madison. Who wants Sam Madison? The Niners want Sam Madison. The Jets want Sam Madison. The Patriots want him, but they're always in the playoffs. We don't want to trade with them. The Steelers, the Texans, the Bengals, the Chiefs. Maybe we try and get like a second and a third for Sam Madison? Or just a second for Sam Madison? That would work. But I feel like we got to get a little bit more for Sam Madison. I could do with another second round pick. So a second round pick's probably what we do with the Chiefs. And then maybe we go and we get a third and a fourth from the next year's draft from the Chiefs. Or maybe just a third from next year's draft. And then I throw in like one of my many fourth round picks that I have this year. That gets us pretty close. What about if I get a fourth round pick from next year's draft? That does throw it pretty close. What if I throw you guys a 6th round pick next year? Will you accept that? You won't accept that. So what about if I throw you a 6th round pick from this year? Will you accept that? They will not. So just give me like a 6 and a 7 from next year. Trade declined? Are you kidding me? What about if I want to pick from this year? So I bet if I throw you one of my 6th round picks, that'll go through, right? Yeah, so we trade Sam Madison to the Kansas City Chiefs for a 2nd round pick and a 5th round pick this year. We give up 2 picks this year as well. But that frees up cap space, and we get an extra 2nd round pick out of the deal. I wasn't gonna pay Sam Madison his contract. So we do need to sign a corner out of free agency, and I'm pretty sure that the corners we didn't sign, yeah, there's at least one of them, Travis Coleman. You know what? Let's get this dude. He's the same overall and he's younger, and we haven't had him on the team yet, so we'll bring him in. All right, so we traded Sam Madison. Now Jason Taylor. Do I trade Jason Taylor or not? I don't think I don't want to, but I don't want to pay him this contract either. I think I'll just skip out, and I won't negotiate with him just yet. It's too early in the season to tell what we're going to be. So if we start to lose a lot of games, then I'll probably trade him. But if we start to win a couple games, I'll probably keep him around for the year. So I'm going to simulate, and I'll catch you guys up when something interesting happens. All right, here we are in week 12 of the 2008 regular season. And the reason I stopped here is because we've got to play the Memphis Egyptians, the formerly known LA Chargers, have come to Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, and I figured that'd be a cool little thing to see what they look like, what their jerseys look like and stuff. So I figure we'll get a little bit of gameplay in here. But I did want to mention one thing about this team. I brought in Donald Driver. He was in free agency. He's 33 years old. I figured why not, so I brought him in. Plus we needed another wide receiver, so he was in there, and I was like, hey, why not? I like Donald Driver. But we are currently 5-5 on the season. That is good for 3rd place in the well, tied for 2nd, really. Tied for 2nd place in the division with the Bills and the Patriots. So the Jets are leading the division at 7-3. That's pretty crazy. We got them next week, and then in week 15 too. So it's going to be an interesting ride. I still haven't decided on Jason Taylor yet. He's still under his old contract. We still haven't signed him yet. But let's get into this game against the Egyptians and see if we can pull out a W. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. First quarter, Dolphins in Memphis. This is what their jerseys are looking like. They got the gray helmets with the blue pants. I don't really think that they're that good. They probably could have done better, but I mean, that's what happens when you get Madden. That's what happens when you get Madden team creation. You get jerseys like this. But we're at the goal line, 3rd and goal. They're going to guess and we're going to go with the run anyway. Ronnie Brown scores for the first touchdown of the game. Let's go. Maybe we can get a W. Okay, here we are, 3rd quarter now, 14-10 action. Feely to drop back, throw it quickly to Wes Welker, and he drops it on the hit. Welker, I threw that to you. I threw that money to you, and you dropped it. 4th quarter now, 21-13. We have the lead and the ball. We just need to hold on to this lead. Ricky Williams getting some carries. That's another interesting case. We may be trading Ricky Williams at the end of this season. I haven't really figured out what I want to do with Ricky yet. He doesn't cost too much, but he's starting to regress a little bit, and that's the problem. So 3rd and 4 now. We got Calvin Johnson running a fantastic looking route. If I could just get some time as I get sacked on the play. Oh, I thought this offensive line was going to be better than that. Oh, they're not going to just take me out. I'm not going to punt this ball. I don't punt that football. We're going to have to go to the 2-minute warning. And it'll probably take me out of it. Will it take me out or will it make me go for it on 4th down? They're going to keep me in, so I'm not going to punt the football. Nobody punts the football. Who does that? Let's do an in route with Anthony Davis, with Vernon Davis. Do that. Do a smart route for him so that he runs to the 1st down marker, and Vernon Davis gets a huge 1st down on the play. A.J. Feely with a dart. And now they're going to have to start calling timeouts here. This will put us to 6-6 if we're able to hold on to this lead and win the game. That would be big if we are 6-6. We're right on the brink of playoffs, I think. We've been on the brink of playoffs all 3 seasons so far, and now into the 4th season. But I think we're just 1 quarterback away from really breaking out into this rebuild. And I'm just trying to figure out who I want that quarterback to be. Do I want it to be Matthew Stafford? Do I want it to be somebody else? I don't know. I don't know if I want it to be Matthew Stafford. I don't think I want it to be Stafford. Ronnie Brown with a nice spin move after the tackle. 3 touchdowns on the day for Ron. He's got all 3 of the touchdowns. I don't think I want it to be Matt Stafford, but if he's there when we come up to draft, then I think we might have to take him. I don't know. I'll have to think about it a little bit more. That'll be for the next episode, though, so who knows what we're going to do. I don't think I'm going to do what I did last year and trade up to get the #1 pick in the draft. I don't really have any need to. The guys that I want on defense aren't going to go #1 overall. So they'll go 1st round probably. Even James Laurinaitis, even though he's projected to be a 2nd round pick, I feel like somebody would take him 1st round because he's a very good player. Clay Matthews will go not 1st overall, but will go 1st round. Brian Cushing will go 1st round. Vontae Davis will go 1st round. So there's some guys that I'm targeting that will probably go 1st round. So maybe we have to trade up a little bit and get a higher 1st round pick. But other than that, I don't think that there's anything that we need to trade up to get. Like there's this generational player that we need to get the 1st overall pick for. I don't see that here. So it's 4th and inches. Hold on, I'm going to call a timeout here. We don't need to kick a field goal here because even if they score, they're down by 8. So even if they score a touchdown in 14 seconds, which is not likely, they'd have to go for 2 to tie it up. So let's just go for it on 4th down. We get the 1st down, so we'll just let the clock run out from there. We're going to go to 6-5 on the season. Hopefully that gives us some momentum moving forward to maybe make the playoffs for the first time in this rebuild. Feely went 14 of 30 with 46 completion percentage. That's gross. 158 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. Ronnie Brown went 25 carries, 98 yards, 3 touchdowns. Ricky Williams had 10 for 51. Wes Welker had 5 catches, 56 yards. Calvin Johnson only had 1 catch in the game. Will Allen led with tackles and 8. 1 interception, it looks like, from Eric Weddle. That's pretty good. And then kicking, we didn't really need any kicking. So we get the W, which is all that really matters, because now that puts us a little bit closer to those playoff spots. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are here in Week 17, and look at what we have right here. The Dolphins are the 6th seed in the playoffs, going up against the Jacksonville Jags, who are the 3 seed currently. We are in Week 17, like I said. We got the Buffalo Bills in the final game of the regular season. They are not in the playoffs. If we win this game against the Bills, we are in the playoffs, guaranteed for the first time in this rebuild series. It's going to be a big one. I still haven't decided on Jason Taylor yet because we are a playoff team. I may just franchise tag him if that's a possibility. But let's look quickly at the roster. 91 overall, Calvin Johnson. I'm so happy that we got him. Jahari Evans is an 87 overall. Donald Penn's 83. Whitworth is 83. Ronnie Brown's 81. Weddle's 81. Vernon Davis is an 81. Josh Sitton is a 79 already. We're gonna let Derek Brooks go after this year. Tom Bahali's a 78. Kyle Williams is 78. So all of our young guys are looking very good, and I'm excited about this team for the future. But we gotta focus on the here and now. Can we go 9-7 and make the playoffs for the first time? Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe, and let's play the Bills. All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. First quarter, down 3-0 against the Buffalo Bills already. Not the situation you want to be in. A.J. Feely finding Vernon Davis for a first down into Bills territory at the 28-yard line. Let's see if we can take some points and put them on the board for Miami. This is about the playoffs. We want to score. We want to be in the playoffs. I don't know how far we'll go in the playoffs, but we need to at least try and get there for the first time this series, led by quarterback A.J. Feely, which is a weird thing to say, but hey, if he leads us to the playoffs, I guess it doesn't matter. Let's try and get some more running plays. We got Ronnie Brown in here now. Last time we played a game was against the Memphis Egyptians, and Ronnie Brown had 3 rushing touchdowns in that game, so he doesn't have any so far because we don't have any points. But maybe 3rd and inches, we get Calvin Johnson involved here for a quick slant route, and we score a touchdown. I don't like it. I don't like it. I like it now. Calvin Johnson for a touchdown. Let's go, Miami. All right, we got third quarter action now. 10-3 is the score. Dolphins lead. Ronnie Brown up the middle with a huge run, breaking tackles and doing everything he can to send the Dolphins to the playoffs for the first time in this series. It would be amazing to have a 9-7 Dolphins team in the playoffs. This team I wouldn't think would make the playoffs, but hey, anything can happen. Miracles do happen. And it looks like if we can score here, we'll be in a very good spot to be able to hold on for this whole game. Late third quarter, can A.J. Feely put us into the playoffs with a touchdown pass here? It looks like it's going to be a Calvin Johnson touchdown pass again. The same spot he caught the first one. And Calvin Johnson is a superstar. Fourth quarter action now, 17-10. 4 minutes and change to go in the game. Can the Dolphins score one more time and send it to the playoffs? It would be a miracle, a storybook, a chapter in the storybook if they could send this team to the playoffs. Calvin Johnson with a nice slant route gets the first down. Can the Dolphins do it? For the first time in this franchise's history in the series. Can they make the playoffs? Ronnie Brown with a rushing touchdown that may have just sent the Dolphins to the postseason. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The Buffalo Bills are gone. The Miami Dolphins are headed to the postseason for the first time in this series. It took 4 seasons, but we do it. We are headed to our first postseason action in this series' history. AJ Feely went 25 of 38, 65% completion percentage, 258 yards, 2 touchdowns to Calvin Johnson, 19 runs, 73 yards. I don't know why I said it like 19 carries, 73 yards, and a touchdown for Ronnie Brown. 8 catches, 71 yards for Vernon Davis. 7 catches, 64 yards, and 2 touchdowns for Calvin Johnson. Derek Brooks led the team with 9 tackles. Jason Taylor had a sack, and Kyle Williams and Calais Campbell share a sack. No interceptions. Alindo Mare kicks 1 field goal, 49-yarder. And that's about it. Devin Hester had 1 kick return and 3 punt returns. But your Miami Dolphins are headed to the postseason for the first time in the series. Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. We're in the postseason. Wild card weekend against the Chiefs. We made it to the 5 seed, actually. The Titans must have lost or something. But we are playing the 4th seeded Chiefs in the wild card round. It's going to be a big one. I don't know what's going to happen, but we're going to save that for the next episode because this episode's already been pretty long. So we're going to save the postseason and the off-season for the next episode. Just mash them up into one big video. That's going to do it for me. Make sure to smash the like button, hit the notification bell, and the subscription button as well. Join the Juice Club, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya!